Today, I'll share with you the best tips that personally helped me as a broke teen to build a six-figure portfolio in a few years without having any big talents or rich parents. As the famous Charlie Munger once said, "The first $100,000 is a but you gotta do it." In fact, nowadays, 42% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings account, and the average savings account for the Americans is about $4,500. Those are some pretty alarming statistics that are notably showing that 49% of Americans wouldn't be able today to cover a $400 emergency expense. This means that even a small visit to your doctor could be out of your budget. Despite having a free healthcare system here in Canada, the situation isn't really better. For example, in 2021, the average net savings for Canadians was about $9,972. So as you can understand, it is imperative for you, if you're currently in that particular situation, to increase the amount of savings that you have, to also be able to invest more money. And it is what we're gonna see together today in this video. But first, let's define what is $100,000 per year and how the compound effect could be your biggest ally. $100,000 per year could be broken down as $8,334 per month, or if you prefer, $1,924 per week, or $274 per day. I think that we can agree that this is a realistic income that you could be able to generate, especially if you currently have any kind of side hustle. But keep in mind that even if you're able to generate $100,000, you wouldn't be able to invest all this amount. In fact, don't forget that you have to pay obviously your taxes and your different daily expenses. And so it is where the compound effect enters in the game. For an hypothesis, let's say that you start to invest with an amount of about $20,000 invest in the market upfront, and that after you will receive a 10% average annual return, which is pretty much the same as the market, and that you also add $10,000 at the end of every single year. Well, you could see that you'll be reaching your first $100,000 after 5.5 years, but it will only take you about 4.5 years after to reach your second $100,000. So, the largest piece of cake you have, the most interest you'll be making. Now that you understand what is $100,000 and how important it is to start as soon as you can, let's see how step by step I would personally generate this income and how I personally did it in the past. Starting with the first step, which is to define what is your goal and objective. If you want to become more healthy and more muscular, it would be normal to think that you would fix yourself some objective and some goal. Well, the same apply to the finance. If you have the objective to increase your wealth and increase your savings rate, well, it is logical for you to fix yourself some great goal that you can be able to achieve. For example, I could say that I want to have invest $100,000 in the stock market before the end of 2025. And so this will give you your target, but after you need to understand what you need to do to obtain it. And this is the step number 2, which is to create a solid plan. This plan should include specific action that you need to take to achieve your objective and your goal. Personally, one thing that I would recommend you if you want to increase your income and increase your wealth is to start learning a high income skill. But what do I mean by a high income skill? Well, it will be a skill that you'll be able to develop by yourself, for example, by reading books and watching different videos on it. For example, there would be copywriting, becoming a cybersecurity pro, learning the basis of the financial world, content creation and management, and obviously the web development. I would even say that the better you are at a certain skills and the more knowledge that you will have in it, well, obviously the higher the income that you'll be able to generate. Let's take the example of Graham Stephan that started his YouTube channel a couple of years ago as a real estate agent. Well, through time, he's been able to grow a massive audience of millions of different people that follow him on Instagram and YouTube. So in this case, he could be considered as a social media expert. And so he could decide to use his skills that he has developed through time to become, for example, a consultant for smaller YouTubers to help them to grow their channel. But in this case, he did something of even more efficient. He decided to create his own YouTube Academy courses. And since this course has been created a couple of years ago to help the different YouTubers to grow their YouTube channels, well, now it is some fully passive income that is entering in his pocket.
Here comes the money.
And obviously this comes from the irreplaceability of his personality and of his channel, because I could guarantee you that with less than 1000 subscribers, if I decided to create a YouTube course just like him, I am pretty sure that I would be making way less money than him, because people are looking for great expertise and most importantly some great experience. But I've still been able to monetize the skills and the knowledge that I've learned through time, notably with web creation, where I was making the websites of different entrepreneurs that were paying me in exchange of it. Plus, with time and experience and many different failures, I've been able to invest a lot of my money and make some great returns over the last couple of years. And knowing the fact that I have my license to become a financial advisor, it means that I could also decide if I wanted to manage the portfolio of certain people. But in any case, this was the main factor that helped me through times to develop and construct a six-figure portfolio, even though I didn't add some high income. And this leads us to the third step, which is to take action. Now that you know what you must do to be successful, you just got to do it! You need to be able to make the right actions to be successful. The world is filled with dreamers that want to be millionaire and that want to have the best shape of their life, but that are not willing to put the time to realize those objectives. On your side, you must be willing to talk the walk. Creating a plan without taking actions is basically useless. You need to start taking steps toward your goals every day. This might mean to start working a few extra hours at your job, to start a side hustle, to try to reach out 2 or 3 more clients per day, or even to do more networking in your industry. Whatever it is, you need to take actions every day. And this brings us to the fourth step, which is to stay consistent and stay focused. It is great that you've started to take the right actions, but now you must continue to do it. Don't be the person that wants to be the best version of himself physically every single new year, but that stopped going to the gym 1 month after starting because he's not becoming a Greek god. Achieving $100,000 of income every single year requires a lot of focus and determination, so you must stay focused on what you have to do and not get distracted by all the different distractions around you. This might mean to say no to different social events the weekend and also to turn off your phone when you're working. You must be willing to put everything under your control on your side in order to be able to become victorious. Personally, I've started to work as soon as I reached 11 and 12 years old to make as much money as I could when I was young, and I've took the habit to save as much money as I could also, and I can say that this habit has helped me a lot in the past. And finally, for the fifth and last step, it is basically to track your performance and enjoy the process. When you're trying to reach a certain objective, it can be to lose weight or to increase your savings account, you must track your process. Indeed, this will help you to see what is working and what is not working to help you to make the different readjustments that you need to be successful. But this will also help you to see how far you come from. And to me, to see all the progress that I've made since I started is the most beautiful things in the world. But an extra step that has also massively helped me over the last couple of years is to reduce as much as possible my different expenses. Keep in mind that when I'm talking about cutting my expenses, it is not about cutting the different essential expenses. I also think that sometimes it is important for you to reward yourself, especially when you've done something of good, but it is also about finding the right balance. How I would personally proceed if I were you, if I was not at the place that I wanted to be, is that I would start to make a budget. This would notably help me to see what are my main source of income and what are my different expenses. After, you could see what are the unnecessary expenses that you could cut on. For example, if you currently have many different streaming services such as Hulu, Disney, Amazon Prime, and Netflix, well, you could decide to only keep one of those services. If you're someone that also spends a lot of its money on fast food, it could be another great place to cut on. And for example, you can find some healthier way to feed yourself. For example, you could go grocery shop and buy different discounted products. And if you don't know how to cook, it could be a great idea to learn how to do it. So there you have it. Those are the main steps that I would personally follow if I had to restart from $0 to $100,000 in 2023. It won't be easy, but with hard work and determination, it is definitely achievable. But on your side, if you want to see how you currently rank among the people of your age in terms of net worth, well, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace.